Finding a reliable e-bike that won't drain your bank account feels impossible, but I've spent the last 3 months testing the most popular budget options so you don't have to. The #1 spot completely blew my mind, and it might just be the best value commuter bike on the market right now. 10. isinwheel M40. This is a bike that immediately caught my eye due to its incredibly aggressive price point. When the box arrived, the assembly process was relatively straightforward, though I immediately noticed that the packaging felt a bit flimsy compared to the higher tier brands we will discuss later. I wanted to give this bike a fair shot, so I aired up the tires, charged the battery overnight, and set out for my standard commuter test route the next morning. It looks decent from a distance, but up close, the paint finish and weld marks leave a little to be desired. Taking it out on the road, the motor performance was the first thing I scrutinized. On flat paved trails, the hub motor provides a decent enough push to get you up to cruising speed. But the moment I hit a moderate incline, the power delivery started to struggle. I found myself having to downshift and pedal much harder than I normally would on an e-bike just to maintain momentum. The pedal assist sensor also has a noticeable lag. You turn the cranks a full rotation before the motor abruptly kicks in, which makes navigating tight spaces or stop-and-go traffic feel quite jerky and unrefined. Battery life is another area where the isinwheel M40 showed its budget roots during my testing. The manufacturer claims a very optimistic range, but in my real-world testing on maximum pedal assist, I watched the battery indicator drop surprisingly fast. I was barely able to hit 15 miles before the power cut out entirely, forcing me to pedal a rather heavy, dead e-bike back home. 9. LUXECYCLES electric bike. This bike attempts to deliver a rugged, all-terrain aesthetic at a bargain price. Pulling this out of the box, the first thing that struck me was the sheer weight of the frame. It is a remarkably heavy machine that takes quite a bit of effort to maneuver before you even turn it on. I liked the initial look of the wide tires and the aggressive geometry, hoping it would translate into a dominant ride on my local gravel trails. Unfortunately, aesthetics don't always equal engineering, and that became apparent fairly quickly. When I finally hit the throttle on an open stretch of road, the acceleration felt sluggish, burdened heavily by the bike's massive overall weight. The motor whines audibly under strain, and while it eventually reaches its top speed on flat ground, the journey there is anything but thrilling. During my hill climb test, the motor practically begged for mercy, slowing down to a crawl and requiring me to stand on the pedals to assist it over the crest. The gearing ratio also feels slightly off, leaving you ghost pedaling at higher speeds without feeling any resistance or connection to the drivetrain. The battery integration on the LUXECYCLES is another aspect that frustrated me during my daily test rides. It slots into the frame but lacks a secure, tight fit, resulting in a persistent, annoying rattle every time I rolled over a textured surface or gravel path. In terms of actual range, it performed slightly better than the 10 spot, getting me about 20 miles of mixed riding. 8. CBVELO electric bike. I was genuinely excited to test this one because a good folding e-bike can completely change your daily routine, especially if you take public transit. Out of the box, the folding mechanism felt a bit stiff, but after a few tries and some light lubrication, it snapped into place with a satisfying, secure click. The compact footprint makes it incredibly easy to toss into the trunk of a car or tuck into the corner of an apartment. On the road, the CBVELO surprised me with a highly zippy motor that handles city streets quite well. Unlike the previous bikes on this list, the pedal assist here feels much more responsive, kicking in almost immediately when you start turning the cranks. I took it through a crowded downtown area, and the nimble handling allowed me to weave around obstacles and tight corners with absolute confidence. It isn't going to win any drag races, but for quick urban maneuvers, the power delivery is spot on. For a compact folding bike, the battery capacity is actually quite respectable, and my range tests yielded solid results. I was able to commute back and forth to my studio for 3 days, totaling roughly 25 miles, before I felt the need to plug it in. The battery is also completely removable, meaning I could leave the bike locked in the garage and bring just the battery inside to charge at my desk. This is a massive convenience factor that really elevated the everyday usability of this model during my review period. 7. Windone electric bike. As soon as I unpacked the Windone, I was struck by how clean the welds looked and how nicely the cables were routed along the frame. It boasts a rugged fat tire design that practically begs to be taken off the pavement. I spent my first afternoon with it adjusting the suspension fork and dialing in the tire pressure, preparing for a rigorous weekend of trail riding. The motor on this bike is an absolute blast, providing a robust surge of power that easily conquered the steep hills in my neighborhood. I took it out to a local dirt trail that usually gives budget e-bikes a hard time, but the Windone powered through loose gravel and muddy patches without breaking a sweat. The throttle response is snappy and exhilarating, allowing you to easily maintain high speeds even when the terrain gets tough. It finally feels like we are entering the territory of bikes that don't just commute, but actively provide a recreational thrill. Battery performance was consistently reliable throughout my testing, matching the manufacturer's claims surprisingly well. I went on a long, continuous 28-mile ride utilizing a mix of throttle and heavy pedal assist, and still returned home with 1 bar remaining on the display. The LCD screen itself is bright, easy to read in direct sunlight, and provides accurate, real-time feedback on your voltage and speed. You don't get that annoying voltage sag where the battery indicator bounces around. It drains predictably, which completely eliminates range anxiety. What really sold me on the Windone during my test rides was the exceptional comfort level provided by the fat tires and the front suspension combination. 6. eAhora X7. This is a bike that completely redefines what you should expect from a folding fat tire e-bike. The unboxing experience felt premium, and the bike itself is a visual standout with its sleek, aggressive frame design and integrated rear rack. I was eager to see if its performance matched its striking looks, so I immediately took it out to a sandy beach path that normally bogs down standard commuter bikes. The folding mechanism is incredibly robust, locking into place with zero play or wobble, which immediately inspired absolute confidence. The power delivery on the eAhora X7 is nothing short of phenomenal for this price bracket. It features a high-torque motor that absolutely launches you off the starting line, making it incredibly fun to blast away from stoplights. When I hit the deep sand during my test ride, the motor didn't hesitate. It chewed through the resistance with ease, showcasing a level of raw torque that I usually only see on bikes costing twice as much. The gear shifting is smooth, and the pedal assist levels are distinctly mapped, giving you precise control over your speed and effort. eAhora implemented an excellent energy recovery system and a high-capacity battery that truly impressed me during my long-range testing. I spent an entire Saturday running errands all over the city, covering over 30 miles, and I still had plenty of charge left over. The battery is beautifully integrated into the frame, maintaining the bike's sleek aesthetic while still being easily removable for indoor charging. Number 5. EUYBIKE electric bike. This is a machine that brings serious moped-style flair and phenomenal performance to the budget sector. Unboxing this bike was exciting. The retro-inspired frame, the long bench seat, and the massive moto-style headlight immediately set it apart from traditional bicycle designs. It is a real head-turner. I spent my first day cruising it around downtown, and the number of people who stopped to ask me about it confirmed that EUYBIKE absolutely nailed the styling and aesthetic appeal. But this bike isn't just about looks. The motor performance blew me away during my testing phase. It features a tremendously powerful rear hub motor that hums smoothly and propels you to top speed with breathtaking ease. I took it to the steepest, most intimidating hill in my city, a hill that defeats many premium e-bikes, and the EUYBIKE powered right to the top using throttle alone. The acceleration is buttery smooth rather than jerky, giving you a sense of complete control and stability even when riding at maximum velocity. The battery capacity is massive, designed to support the bike's heavier moped-style frame and powerful motor without sacrificing range. During my endurance test, I rode it extensively across the city, exploring distant neighborhoods and taking long detours, and easily cleared 40 miles before the battery gauge started getting low. The battery sits cleanly behind the seat tube, keeping the center of gravity low, which significantly improves the bike's balance and maneuverability around tight corners. It is a highly reliable power source for extended weekend cruising. 4. Ride1up TURRIS. And this is where we transition from great budget bikes to bikes that legitimately challenge the expensive legacy brands. Ride1up is renowned for delivering unbeatable value, and unboxing the TURRIS felt like unpacking a $3,000 machine. The paint job is flawless, the frame geometry is masterfully designed for touring, and the integration of the components is incredibly clean. I geared up and took it on a 50-mile mixed surface test ride to see if it lived up to the legendary reputation. The motor on the TURRIS is an absolute masterpiece of tuning. It is a Class 3 e-bike, meaning it assists you all the way up to 28 miles per hour, and it gets there with an incredibly refined, silent surge of power. The cadence sensor is mapped so brilliantly that it feels almost like a much more expensive torque sensor. The motor responds fluidly to your pedaling speed, making you feel like you simply have superhuman legs. Whether I was flying down the bike lane or climbing steady grades, the power delivery was perfectly smooth and natural. Ride1up equipped the TURRIS with a beautifully integrated frame battery that looks incredibly stealthy and provides exceptional range. On my rigorous 50-mile test ride, which included a lot of high-speed cruising and maximum assist, I managed to complete the entire route on a single charge. The efficiency of the motor combined with the high-quality battery cells means you get genuine, reliable mileage that you can depend on for long daily commutes. It charges quickly, and the battery lock mechanism feels incredibly secure and rattle-free. 3. Propella 9S Pro V2. This is a bike that completely won my heart with its astonishingly lightweight and sleek design. When the delivery driver handed me the box, I genuinely thought they had forgotten to pack the battery or motor because it was so shockingly light. Propella's design philosophy is all about creating a nimble, traditional-feeling bicycle that just happens to have electric assist. I immediately took it out to my favorite winding city streets to test its legendary agility, and the beautiful blue rims turned heads immediately. Riding the 9S Pro V2 is an absolute revelation because it relies on an incredibly smooth torque sensor rather than a basic cadence sensor. The moment you apply pressure to the pedals, the motor amplifies your effort instantly and intuitively, creating a symbiotic relationship between rider and machine. It doesn't lurch or pull you, it just makes you faster. I spent hours navigating heavy urban traffic, and the bike's responsiveness allowed me to accelerate out of tight spots and maintain a brisk, effortless pace with a massive smile on my face. The battery design on the Propella is brilliantly minimalist. Instead of a massive, bulky block, it uses a sleek, water bottle-sized battery that keeps the overall weight of the bike incredibly low. While it doesn't have the massive range of a heavy fat tire bike, it easily achieved a highly efficient 30 miles during my testing, thanks to the bike's low weight and the seamless 9-speed drivetrain. When the battery does run out, the bike is so light and gears so well that riding it without power feels just like riding a premium analog commuter bike. 2. Ride1up ROADSTER V3. This is a bike that officially defines the term stealth e-bike. When I unboxed the Roadster, I was completely blown away by the clean lines and the fact that the battery is entirely hidden within the slim frame. To the untrained eye, it looks exactly like a high-end, single-speed or gravel acoustic bike. I took it straight to the local coffee shop, and my riding buddies couldn't even tell it was electric until I effortlessly dropped them on the first major hill climb. The performance of the Roadster V3 is deeply impressive, utilizing an incredibly quiet motor that completely eliminates the typical e-bike whine. I tested the belt drive version, and the utter silence of the drivetrain, combined with the smooth power delivery, is truly an ethereal riding experience. It utilizes a highly refined torque sensor that provides instant, natural power the second your foot touches the pedal. Sprints off the line are incredibly swift, and maintaining top speeds requires just the right amount of engaging physical effort. Despite its incredibly slim profile, the completely concealed battery provided excellent longevity during my aggressive testing regimen. I took it on a demanding 40-mile loop with significant elevation changes, and the Roadster handled it beautifully, delivering consistent power without sudden drops. The efficiency of the lightweight frame and the premium motor means that every drop of electricity is used perfectly. Plus, the charging port is discreetly located, maintaining the incredibly sleek, uninterrupted aesthetic of the gorgeous frame design. 1 NIU BQi-C3 Pro. Let me be clear, this bike is a monumental achievement in the electric bike industry and the undisputed king of the budget category. Unboxing the NIU revealed a gorgeous step-through frame that features an incredibly innovative dual battery system seamlessly integrated into the chassis. The build quality, the paint finish, and the attention to detail are on par with bikes costing $4,000. I spent weeks using this as my primary vehicle, completely replacing my car for all city travel, to see just how good it really is. The motor performance on the NIU is staggeringly good. It utilizes a state-of-the-art rear hub motor combined with a Gates carbon belt drive, resulting in a ride that is buttery smooth, perfectly silent, and virtually maintenance-free. During my steepest hill tests, the NIU powered up inclines with an effortless grace that left every other bike on this list in the dust. The power delivery is impeccably tuned. It never jerks or surges, providing a continuous, powerful sweep of acceleration that gets you to top speed with majestic ease. The battery system is where the NIU BQi-C3 Pro completely destroys the competition. With two high-capacity batteries housed within the step-through frame, my range testing was genuinely exhausting, in a good way. I rode this bike for over 60 miles on a single charge over several days without ever needing to plug it in. The dual battery architecture eliminates range anxiety entirely, making it the ultimate tool for serious commuters, delivery riders, or anyone who just hates charging their bike. The batteries swap smoothly and lock securely, showcasing brilliant engineering.